The billionaire sitting across from his financial advisor has a credit score lower than a school teacher in Ohio, and he planned it that way. Not because something went wrong, not because of debt or missed payments, because he knows something about money that most people will never be told. What you are about to hear rewrites everything you thought you knew about financial success and the numbers that are supposed to measure it. If you have ever worked hard to push your credit score higher, thinking it was your golden ticket to wealth, you need to stay with me right now because the game you think you are playing is not the game the wealthy are actually playing. There is a financial system running underneath the one you can see, and the rules are completely different. The credit score system, as most people understand it, is a tool designed to help lenders evaluate risk. You are told from a young age to protect your score, build it, obsess over it. A score above 750 is considered excellent. People celebrate crossing that threshold like it is a life achievement. But here's the contradiction that changes everything. The wealthiest people in the world often have scores that sit in ranges that would make a middle-class person panic. Some ultra-high net worth individuals carry scores in the low 600s or even lower. And their financial advisors are not alarmed. They are satisfied. So why does this happen, and why is it intentional? Let us go deeper. Wealthy individuals understand that a credit score is fundamentally a measure of how much you depend on borrowed money and how reliably you pay it back. It rewards behavior that is actually a sign of financial dependency. The system gives you points for carrying balances, using revolving credit, and maintaining long histories with lenders. In other words, the credit score system rewards you for being a good customer to banks. It does not reward you for being wealthy. It rewards you for being useful to lenders. Think about that distinction for a moment. The score is not measuring your net worth. It is not measuring your assets. It is not measuring your investment portfolio or your real estate holdings or your business equity. It is measuring your relationship with debt. And wealthy people often have very little of that kind of relationship. Now, before you go rushing to close all your credit cards, I want you to understand the nuance here. This is not about destroying your credit. It is about understanding what wealthy people prioritize instead and why they make deliberate choices that lower their scores without caring about the consequences. If you are finding this valuable, take 2 seconds right now and hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. We break down the real mechanics of wealth that financial institutions prefer you never fully understand. Back to the strategy. Here are the specific reasons why high net worth individuals end up with lower credit scores than you might expect. First, they do not use credit cards the way you do. Many extremely wealthy people pay for everything with cash, wire transfers, or through their business entities. When you do not have revolving credit activity, your score stagnates or drops. The system interprets low usage as less reliability data, which lowers your score. The wealthy simply do not need the score to function financially. Second, wealthy people frequently close accounts. When you no longer need a credit product, you close it. Closing accounts reduces your available credit and shortens your average account age, both of which pull your score down. A wealthy person making a strategic financial decision does not hesitate simply to protect a number they do not need. Third, they take on hard inquiries for large strategic investments. When an ultra-wealthy investor is acquiring a commercial property, launching a new business line, or making a major leveraged investment, the due diligence process often involves multiple credit inquiries across a short window. Each inquiry dents the score temporarily. They accept that dent because the return on the investment dwarfs any concern about a 3-digit number. Fourth, wealthy people use their assets as leverage, not their credit scores. Here is the real secret. When you have significant assets, banks do not lend to you based on your credit score. They lend to you based on your asset base, your liquidity, and your relationship with private banking teams. A person with $40 million in assets does not walk into a bank and fill out the same form you fill out. They work with private wealth managers who structure lending against real collateral. The credit score becomes almost irrelevant at that level. Fifth, Some wealthy individuals deliberately structure their personal finances to show less personal income and credit activity because their wealth flows through corporate structures and trusts. Their personal credit profile looks thin or average, while their actual financial power is enormous. This is also a tax efficiency strategy that has the side effect of making their personal credit profile look underwhelming. So, what does this mean for you right now? It means you should stop treating your credit score as the finish line of financial success. It is a tool for a specific phase of building wealth. When you are in the accumulation phase, when you need credit to buy a home, when you need financing to start a business, yes, your credit score matters enormously. Protect it, build it, use it strategically. But do not confuse the tool with the destination. The wealthiest people in the world are not sitting around refreshing their credit monitoring apps. They are focused on asset acquisition, cash flow, equity growth, and tax strategy. They are playing a completely different game on a completely different board. The credit score is a tool for people who need to borrow money to build their life. Once you have built enough assets, the tool becomes less relevant and sometimes strategically inconvenient. The lesson here is profound. Financial freedom is not about having a perfect score. It is about reaching a point where the score no longer controls your options. Every financial decision you make should be moving you toward that kind of independence, not deeper dependence on a system designed to keep you borrowing and paying interest forever. Start building assets. Start thinking in equity. Start understanding that the wealthiest people live by entirely different financial metrics than the ones you were handed in school. The score was never their goal. It should not be yours either. If this opened your eyes to how differently the wealthy think about money and credit, subscribe to this channel right now. We post new content every week that pulls back the curtain on real wealth strategy. Share this video with someone who is still obsessing over their credit score, thinking it will make them rich. It might be the most important thing you do for their financial future today.